Between the wean. Good morning, my name is Martha Kugels.
And I'm Susan Shattery.
And welcome back to Between the Wean, the radio authority on issues relating to and concerning child rearing, specifically breastfeeding and weaning. Before the break, we were discussing that tender period of weaning your child off of the breast.
That's right, Martha. We're telling our listeners that it's important to sever emotional bonds, even while severing the physical ones. Did I say that right? I don't even know.
Tell us, Suze, how's it going with little Nick?
Well, funny you should ask, Mark. We're actually having a little bit of difficulty in the department. Nick is really resisting any sort of distance between the mouth and my nipple.
That is a difficult time for any mother. We have our first caller on the line.
Just go ahead and tell us your name and where you're from.
And welcome to Between the Wean.
Hi, Susan. Hi, Martha. My name is Tony. Big fan. Me and my wife recently had a child, and she is currently breastfeeding. So she's, having some trouble with that. But my question is, it has recently been brought to our attention that I might not have been circumcised fully. It currently looks like something between a pig in a blanket and a man wearing a turtleneck that is too small.
I'm sorry, Tony what?
Yes, Tony.
I don't think I've ever heard that name before.
It's Dutch.
So, Tony, I would just like to remind you and your fellow phallic friends that this show is specifically dealing with child rearing and or breastfeeding. The wean in Between the Wean does not refer to wieners.
Oh, my apologies.
Well, good luck to you, Kenny.
I will email with updates.
Our next question comes from Angelina in Niagara Falls. She asks, Martha and Susan, is it normal for me to receive a great deal of sexual pleasure from breastfeeding?
Yes. Every mother has felt some sense of arousal from the sweet infant suckling at her breast and the little tongue flicking against her right nipples. I personally reach climax at least twice a week. Completely nude, I'll sit on my washing machine and I will call to my children, Shoshana, Michelle, it's time. We call it Mommy and Me time. Anyway, let's move on. I believe it's time for Susan's segment, Generation Lactation, which she talks about the difficulties of being a breastfeeding woman in the hustle and bustle of the 21st century.
Thanks, Mark. Generation Lactation. Mark, I visited a store called Home Depot this weekend. I was looking for a series of sheds to store the pottery that I made with my ex-lover Karen. I was discussing with the manager the lack of female-friendly sheds when Nick got restless and started suckling upon my teeth.
And how did the manager at Home Depot respond?
I'm glad you asked, Mark, because I've actually written an angry letter about this incident. He did ask me to put my shirt back on and to put my pants back on. Is it nerve, Mark? Then what is nerve? I don't know.
That is an outrage. We have one final caller on the line, but before we get to them, I want to give a little plug to our sister show, Between the Sheets, a show dedicated to the issues of putting your children to bed at night. It is not about learning sexual techniques. I repeat, it is not about learning sexual techniques.
I'll tell you, I made that mistake once, Martha. It was a particularly dark night when Karen left me with that bitch Laquana from her spinning class. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, Between the Sheets is specifically about putting your children to bed at night. So I'm glad we've cleared that up. Now let's hear from our final caller. You're on the air with Between the Wean.
Susan?
Karen? I'm sorry, who is this?
It's Karen, Martha. Remember we all went on that alternative family cruise to Alaska?
Oh, that Karen.
Why are you calling me at work?
I couldn't keep listening to this slander.
What slander?
Do your listeners know that I breastfed our children?
Gasp!
That's right. My breasts have been obliterated. Hers are still plump orbs.
I'm not going to argue with that. About that, Karen. I don't think that's a wrong statement.
Sorry, Susan, have you never weaned?
I'm sorry, Mark?
Have you never weaned? Like,
I'm sorry. Of course not. I have never claimed to have weaned, Mark. Never. You can check the records on that.
well, so for the last 3 years, we've been doing a show about you breastfeeding your son, Nick. It's all just been a lie?
Oh, okay. I see where this kind of got confused. Nick is the name of my son, but the Nick I've been referring to is Nikki, the Lebanese prostitute that I frequent on my days off. She's always on my teeth.
This has been Between the Wean. Tune in next week for our segment on breast pumps, the wave of the future, or the devil's succubus.